Alright, first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Harakah, Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that surely do well. Peace and blessings goes out to the Akim, scattered throughout the four corners of this world that push this gospel in all sincerity and with all diligence. This is about a matter now here once again, coming through the Spirit and the power of the Lord, to do our lesson, to edify and to exhort the Lord's flock. And hopefully it reaches, the message reaches who it's supposed to reach. This is an article here from CNC3 News. I believe this was about 2 days ago, September the 16th, was about 2 days ago. It says, the headline says, U.S. visa warning to foreigners celebrating Kirk's death. It says the recent killing of U.S. conservative political activist CK has stirred reaction across the political spectrum. But for those celebrating his death online, the United States is making it clear they are not welcome in the country. In a post to X, formerly Twitter, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said America will not host foreigners who celebrate the death of our fellow citizens. Visa revocations are underway. If you are here on a visa and cheering on the public assassination of a political figure prepared to be deported, you are not welcome in this country. And it's not really the fact that people celebrating. It's just that if it seems that you're not mourning, or you're not in that state of grief for that man, they're gonna find a problem with that. And it's not really about his death. It's more so about them limiting what you could do, what you could say, what you could stand for, what you could for us, what we could preach out there. Because this is not about him. This is about establishing orders. Past executive orders where they could be able to ban free speech as it is, as I say it is right now, where they could crack down on the stuff or the words that we pour out there on the internet, the things that we preach, which gonna eventually lead to the famine of the word. That is where it's heading to. I just wanted to bring out a couple of precepts here. I'll start with this, 2nd Ezra 16. Because we coming out here plainly and saying we don't give a one damn about any Edomite that faces the sword. Because at the end of the day, they deserve it. The scriptures say it is a righteous thing with the Most High. No, let me get that scripture. Second Thessalonians 1 and verse 6. It says, seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. And guess what? That is not even, that is just plain old fast quick judgment. That is nothing to really say, hey, you enter any tribulation. Nah. What they have prepared coming though, what the Lord have in store for them, they would face the consequence. Select. Yeah, what the Lord have coming for them though is much more terrible and much more, a righteous recompense than just being killed by a gun or being killed by a sword or being killed by, whatsoever means they get killed by. Because the Lord prepares slavery for them. The Lord prepares chains for them. The Lord prepares whippings for them. Torment. If you look through the scripture, you would see that they have to go through, especially Revelation 13 and 10, Isaiah 14 and 2. They have to face the same thing that we face. They have to drink of that same cup, which is slavery. But 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 68. It says, 68, verse 70. It says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. You see, they were all this leading to, what all this leading to is to target the men of the Lord, remove them, and not just the men of the Lord, but the Israelites, all Israel, because that is what their plan is to do, get rid of all Israel, because the Most High dare them, the Most High dare them. If you could conquer the sand of the sea, conquer the stars of heaven, if you could number these things, then they wouldn't be called more people. They can't do that. So their plan is, according to Psalm 83, is to get rid of Israel, or try to, cause Israel to go off, put a snare, which is the MOTB mark. Select the MOTB, which is the RFID tag. So this is their end game. All these things that they're doing, all these false flag operations, where they sacrifice one of their own to help push their agenda, to help implement their order, to clamp down or to target the Hebrew Israelites, especially the prophets of the Lord, the ones going out there on the highways and the byways, to get rid of us. It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. You see? They're going to be spoiling and they're going to be destroying those that fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And how we know that? The Lord said, Yahushua, he said that, some of us had to be martyrs for his sake, for his name's sake. The scripture said to what? Be faithful unto death. That means that, even if it means dying, remain faithful. We could see past that. 2/3 out here can't see past that, but we could see past that because the Lord Yahushua promised to resurrect us. Promised us that the dead in him, the dead men that believed in him, died believing in him, gonna rise first. But this is Revelation 2 and verse 10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, which is Esau, or the deceiver, but that word devil mean diabolos, which is an accuser or deceiver, which is the accuser of the brethren. It's Esau. It says the devil shall cast some of you into prison. And this so simple. It makes sense. How the hell Satan gonna actually cast the man of the Lord into prison? It's not speaking about Satan. It's speaking about the devil on this earth, which, as I said before, is Esau, Edom. It says, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that he may be tried, and he shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Be thou faithful unto death. It means that even if, I'll read it in the NLT. It says, don't be afraid of what you are about to suffer. The devil will throw some of you into prison to test you. You will suffer for 10 days, which that 10 days can be any amount of time. It just means, a period of time. It says, but if you remain faithful, even when facing death, I will give you the crown of life. Yahushua remained faithful even when facing death. He died, and guess what? He rose again. Well, it's the same thing with his elect. If you die, what is gonna happen to you? You're gonna rise again. So don't be afraid. Let me read this last precept here. There's Luke 21 and verse 12. It says, "But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. And it shall turn to you for a testimony. Settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolk and friends, and some of you shall cause to be put to death, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake." So when the time comes for them to to come down upon us, Scripture says in Revelation 12, when he realized that his time short, which he's seeing that now, the measure is going to become more extreme. His plan is going to be implemented with more haste. His law is going to become more draconian. Alright? So, he's going to come down with great wrath upon us, especially the men that go there and sigh and cry daily. But the Lord said, hey, some of you are going to die. Some of you are going to give spiritual powers that you're going to be my standard against Esau, Edom. You're going to be my standard in the earth. But some of you have to be martyrs. But don't be afraid. Just as he rose, just as Yahushua rose, you're gonna rise. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Harakah Kodash. You know what? I'm gonna read this precept as well. Because this is where it leads into. This is prophecy. So you might as well bring it out. It says, Amos 8:11, it says, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, power Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord." How that gonna happen? When they start to ban what you could say and what you cannot say on the internet, what you could say and cannot say out in the streets. Imagine people losing their jobs. You're losing your visa. You're losing your jobs. Like, for example, this guy here. This guy here, it says ABC has suspended Jimmy Kimmel's late night show indefinitely following comments he made about Charlie Kirk's killing. So you're losing your job for your comments, for your belief, for your view on things that happen in this world. So what are gonna cause? A famine at the world eventually. It says, and they shall, until they're gonna come down so dread that they're gonna cast into prison. It ain't gonna be, well, you're gonna lose your job, or you could lose this, or you could lose access to that. Nah, they're gonna cast into prison for certain things, for saying certain things. It says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. All praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Harakah Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of great that surely do well. Peace and blessing goes out there to the Arkham, surely four corners of the soul. I pray this video was edifying. And to the elect, until next time, say shalom.